I was here 2 years ago. I was lucky enough to be part of the inaugural summit. And as was addressed on the panel yesterday, there are moments in our lives that really change our course. And for me, this summit last year was one of those moments. I looked around the room, just like I'm doing now, and I was awestruck by the women and the men who are on the front lines of these issues and working to solve them in creative and really interesting ways. I was impressed with the concept behind the summit of bringing together change makers from the private sector, from the public sector, who were all aligned around the idea of women and girls. And perhaps for me, the most novel concept that I left the summit with was to view my own practice of law and my own practice, pro bono practice at the firm writ large, through the lens of women and girls. And when I did that, when I went home and started to look at my work through that lens, I quickly realized that I was not doing enough. I was not doing nearly enough. About 10 years ago, I pitched to my firm that we create a standalone pro bono practice and that I run that practice. 10 years in, pro bono is our largest client at the firm. So I realized I had tremendous resources and I wasn't deploying them in a way that I wanted to be. So I immediately sort of sat down with my team and talked about what that would look like. We decided to galvanize around what is now called the Justice for Women and Girls Initiative at Gibson Dunn. I pitched that idea to my management. I'm lucky enough to work at a firm run by an amazing woman, Barbara Becker. She's one of the only female managing partners, and she was immediately captured by the idea the same way I was. So in order to sort of effectuate this idea, we came up with 5 pillars in order to make this less conceptual and easier to actually effectuate real change. Our pillars are preventing violence against women, as you just saw reflected in that video, access to education for women, access to healthcare for women, legal and social equity for women, and driving economic empowerment for women. Obviously, everyone in this room knows that those issues are inextricably intertwined, but it can be useful to conceptualize them independently as well. I'm really proud to announce that since launching, in the first year of the initiative, we devoted 56,000 hours to these causes, valued at roughly $71 million. Thank you. Thank you. I am really proud of those numbers, but I am much more proud of the actual changes that we've effected in the lives of our clients and in some of the nonprofits in this room. I was lucky enough to connect with and meet amazing women last year from organizations like the Malala Fund, the Global Justice Center, Equality Now, and I now am lucky enough to count them as my clients. I'm really proud of the work we help them do every day, and I'm really proud of the work that we've done for individual clients, immigrants, refugees, sex trafficking survivors, domestic violence survivors. So I'm so proud and excited to be back here. I'm looking forward to seeing what's coming, and I wanted to sort of leave you all with one additional sort of thought and anecdote that I think has already come up last night. It came up this morning over breakfast, and I've heard it talked about a lot this morning, which is connectivity. That was one of the main things I certainly derived out of last year, the notion that we can amplify each other's work, support each other. And it was about 2 weeks ago now, I had a really tough day at work. One of my clients is a sex trafficking survivor who was here in the US seeking refuge and has been unlawfully deported to a third country where she is not safe and she is living in fear every day. I went into court on her behalf to argue for her return to safety and security, and unfortunately I lost. The fight is not over, but we did lose the battle that day. I had to call her on FaceTime and tell her what happened, and it was a really heartbreaking call. This all happened before 8 a.m. Pacific. I canceled every other meeting I had that day. I needed space, I needed to reground myself. The one meeting I didn't cancel that day was with Gwen and Giving List Women, because I knew that actually that meeting was exactly what I needed in that moment to reground myself, to remind me that I was not alone, and that we were all in this fight together. So thank you all so much. I'm so grateful to be here again, and I look forward to meeting so many of you.